Juliose Mallema of South Africa, the chairman of Freedom Fighter, Economic Freedom Fighter in South Africa, don't talk to Nigeria Senate face to face as he goes South Africa the day where they celebrate EFF, Economic Freedom Fighter. The day when they celebrate am, na him you waka go, they ask some questions, say you don't talk everything, but you never talk about African Union. Na him open mouth, they tell and say Nigeria is the cost of Africa. Na him who are Africa down. And number two, Africans don't need to get visa to go another Africa country. Like Europeans, they know they use visa, they go other country in Europe. Why are we using visa to go other country in Africa? He said this our colonial, this Western when colonize us. Say that them be the problem of Africa. After them now Nigeria, because now Nigeria they give them hand, we make them they do everything what they do. So as they watch this video, they share them because we need this kind of people to rule Africa. We need this kind of thing in Africa. So as they watch and they share them so that others go learn. How you go to travel from Africa to another Africa? You want to travel to Cotonou, then they ask you visa. You want to go Ghana, then they ask you visa. You want to go South Africa, then they ask you visa. You talk and finish also. You talk and say, we giving free visa no mean say you want run, come out for your country. Everybody go there in country. If you want go business, you will go, you come back. You want go vacation, you will go, you will come back. Or you want go do business for day, you will go and do your business, you come back. Don't say you go wrong, come on for your country. But to free visa is very, very important. Free visa. You go waka go anywhere as long as you be African citizen. As long as you be African citizen, you don't need visa. You don't need anything to go everywhere. So only your document, you hold your passport or hold your document to identify where they come from. It's okay. So watch and share.
I'm president of the EFF. The Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and the regional deans present. My name is Muhammad Haruna Manta. I'm the High Commissioner of Nigeria. My boss has taken the cell out of my sheet because the first question I have just two questions, has been taken by him because the president, in your address, you made no mention, I don't know if it's deliberate, of the AU as well as the regional blocks, SADC, for instance, in addressing some of the ills, bedeviling the various regions. You did mention some of those forces that try to tear us apart, like it is in Mozambique, but you did not mention anything, whether SADC is doing anything at all, which you appreciate. I would love that you take another look at how the EFF will strengthen this regional organization, or whether or not the EFF does not see the value addition in the AU.
Then it means Soweto must be a country also. So, but because they benefit from that, they don't even want to engage in this discussion. Because it's an individuals who benefit from it. That's why there's no concrete plan to go into it, and there's no a single president that leads this discussion and put it firmly on the agenda of the AU. That the original thought of the AU as OAU, it was to establish, the founding fathers wanted to establish a solid government, and they got defeated in that discussion. But the intention has always been to create a solid government from its inception, that we should come together and be one. And something came out of it, and it never went back to what it was supposed to be, a government, a united government of Africa. And that's what we'll advocate for ourselves as the EFF. Africa Free Trade is a movement in the right direction. But the first thing we need to do, which the AU must firmly resolve, is to do away with the visa for Africans. There should not be a visa for Africans. The same way the Europeans have one visa, they travel everywhere, they are one thing. What they have, they don't want us to have it. There shouldn't be a visa in Africa. Free movement of people should be allowed. And there's no one who's going to leave Nigeria to come and settle here. It's not true, that thing. It's a myth. I mean, I come from a province called Limpopo. We don't need visa to go to Johannesburg. but people are still there in Limpopo. They've not left Limpopo to Johannesburg. So doing away with visa doesn't mean automatically people are going to leave their homes to where the economy is prospering. It's not true. Johannesburg, Gauteng is doing much better than Limpopo. But the people are not leaving Limpopo to Gauteng. So why would people leave Lagos to here? For what? It's their home. They will come here, look for what they are looking for, and take it back where they come from. We'll go to Lagos to do the same and come back home. We have a problem here of unemployment of South Africans who are told by the previous apartheid mentality and colonialism, brainwashed, that South Africa is superior, is better. They've got the best qualifications. They never go out of the country to go and look for jobs in other countries. Why? Why? Why are they not going all out of Africa? We have nurses, we've got, now we're told doctors, we now have teachers, we have this. Africa is in need of that skill. You going to work anywhere in Africa, in Ghana, it doesn't mean you left your home. It's the same as me leaving Limpopo to come here. When the time permits, I go back home. So what is the problem? Let's go. They need to go. The continent, it's our home. We must all go there and become one thing. Once we do away with the visa, we're going to know each other. The reason why we're scared is because we don't know each other. We know each other through the lenses of our enemies. We don't know each other. So we must first know each other if we're going to build the government of Africa. So it's important that we engage in this thing. Free movement of people and goods, it will help us appreciate the existence of each other and bring us more closer for the unity of this continent. Well, African Union is it's a meeting of friends who don't even call each other to order. They can meet with a dictator who has just, killed his own people and then meet for the whole week and not even mention it. So we can't allow the African Union to continue to work the way it is working. We're talking here about SADC. We have a problem here in Zimbabwe. These members of SADC don't call the government of Zimbabwe to order because it's a group of brothers. That government is violating people there. It has just passed a law of gatherings and speeches and all of that. If they don't like you, you're having a political rally, they just send soldiers, they shoot at you and all of. No one in SADC has raised his voice to say, but what is this? So we cannot have these regional bodies and the continental body, including Pan-African Parliament, by the way, which are not biting on countries that are engaged in wrong activities. What is wrong with President Ramaphosa calling President Mnangagwa to order? It will be coming from a good place. They are all brothers, they are all Africans, they all speak, we assume, for the interest of Africans. So we can't have a situation where we've got regional bodies, continental bodies that become a meeting of elite without concrete solutions to the problems confronting the people of Africa. We have a problem in Mozambique. The problem is solved by sending soldiers. Where have you ever seen soldiers solving a problem? Soldiers don't solve a problem. The leadership must meet and discuss and come up with a binding decision. That's why we say we need one legislature, one military, one currency, one president, so that we know when we go into Mozambique, it's not an interference, it's us providing a solution to our own problems. So we are not happy with how these things are structured. Look, economic integration, trading partners, developmental concepts, we embrace all of that, but it doesn't mean we're ideologically naive. We're not ideologically naive, we're political. And therefore, if we were to trade with the USA or to trade with the UK, we trade from a perspective of knowing that we don't share the same ideologies. When you approach them, you know these ones are brutal. I must not sleep on the job. They are not friends. We are not born alone, we are born with people. That's what friends are for. And to have friends that are aligned with you ideologically is nothing wrong. It's not an old-fashioned thing. It's actually apolitical to want to approach politics without ideological orientation. From which ground do you move from? What informs your perspective as a person who is a political animal? It's important always to have our sharing ideological perspective with China. It doesn't mean you can't get a foreign direct investment from Norway or from UK or from Germany. No. You always relate with all countries. Foreign direct investment is more than welcome, but on our terms. Not on Germany's terms. No. We have been giving Germany a lot of money here in South Africa for assembling cars. Not for building cars, for assembling cars. Why is Germany not building those cars here? And create jobs here? In South Africa, we have a problem of unemployment here. Germany will not have a problem. It needs leadership that is decisive, that is going to say, look, we're going to meet you halfway, but you have to meet us halfway. Assembling is not enough. Let's start it here and build it here. So, and Germany's investment under the EFF government is not threatened at all. The same as any other investment. But we're going to renegotiate the deals. And they must be to the interest of Africans. Botswana did it now, where DBS just wanted to change a diamond deal, and all of Botswana said it's not going to happen. You are going to trade here and do diamond here on our terms. Botswana screamed, DBS screamed, kicked, did all manner of things. If this thing is not signed by when we'll leave, they said you can go. But yeah, we are going to sign the deal on our terms. DBS went back and signed. So that's leadership. Investors want to know what is your position on this matter, so that they can navigate around it and see if they can still make profit out of it. They are not interested in you or in anything. They're interested in politics. That's why they mine blood diamond. They know people are being killed there. This diamond comes from where people are being killed. They still take it. Why do they want to behave like a holy cows and want to punish people for political ideas, yet they don't punish people who are killing each other for diamonds? They go there and still buy blood diamonds. So be clear, then they will come and invest. Even on the land question, we've got special development zones, economic zones here in South Africa, where multinational companies have invested a lot of money on the land they don't own. It's owned by the state. Special industrial zones, special economic zones in South Africa, where multinational companies have put billions of rands.